Hello, we're playing some more Cinderella Phenomena today. Then we hit the load button. Hit that so we don't do what we did last time. Alright, when I returned the margin later that night, my hands are scratched and I think I might have bruises on my arms. Oh yeah, by the way, I keep forgetting to do this, but my name is Blue Seer. Stream on Twitch, also post on YouTube. But yeah, we're gonna get into the story here because I want to make sure to try and knock out 2 chapters. Claude was not joking when he said he would not go easy on me, but he did compliment me more than once. Blue, I've hit you quite a few times and you haven't uttered a single complaint. Impressive. Crying is for the weak. Excuse me. I don't know why my body is deciding to just start coughing and having a fit now. I was fine earlier. Though everyone should be sleeping, I notice that the light is still on at the tavern. I see Julian and Garland up and at a table, speaking with each other and laughing. If Claude had come back with me, he'd be happy to see this. You two are still up? They are not even surprised when they turn to face me. Good days like this are even better when stretched. I haven't been off duty in a long time. Did you both have a good time tonight? It was great. Garland knows these little places in town that I've never even heard of before. Knows the journey is more energetic than usual, her smile a little wider than normal. Wonder if she's drunk? I'm going to get another drink. Another drink? Garland leans in towards me, his voice hushed. We already bought a replacement bottle when we were out today. We would never take anything from Marchand without money. Right. Is Durian drunk? Oh no, Princess, tipsy. It's like a buzz, but fades a lot quicker. Oh. Garland and I watch her as she refills her glass at the bar. I have to thank you, Princess. I would have never asked her out if you and Karma hadn't insisted on it. So you told her? Garland looks at me with a pleased smile. I'll take that as a yes. She didn't really realize until much later. I just asked her out for food and she thought that's all it was. Maybe Durian really did need to be told bluntly. What happened? I told her? And? We talked a numbered old times. He sounds like an old man. And I held her hand. I noticed Garland flinched ever so slightly, but he's smiling. He looks pleased with himself. And the night's not over yet, so... He trails off with a hopeful smile before he raises his eyebrows at me. What about you and Karma? What about us? I've asked him to train me. Train? Princess, you asked him to teach you how to use a sword? What's this? Our princess is going to pick up a sword. Jurian returns to the table, but I'm too tired to properly join in on the conversation. I should leave them to the conversation and head to bed. I need to get some rest if I want to start practicing at night. I excuse myself to head upstairs. I'm startled awake by excruciating bright light. It is momentary, and when it is over, I'm sitting in my bed, dazed and confused. My eyes burn. My hand flies to the pendant around my neck, where I see the second glass slipper with another piece. There's another piece. When did I do another good deed? I grasp the necklace tightly in my hand as I make my way to the tavern. Everyone's doing their pre-morning chores when I get to the tavern area. I notice Karma's going off in a space in the not far from the 2 knights. They haven't been up all night, have they? I make my way slowly over to them. Even back then, you're like some kind of shadow, weren't you? You don't have to hide it. It was obvious you were tailing me back then. It was only because I was worried about you. I realized. You really didn't have to follow me, Lan, but I'm glad you did. Lan? Jurian. Oh, shush. First used to call you that, too. Lan is Garland's childhood nickname. He still gets embarrassed when I call him that. I see. So what are you two talking about? Oh, we were just reminiscing. I look at the two of them critically for a few moments, waiting for them to say something. We both exchange a glance before looking at me, confused. Well? Well, what? How did your date go last night? Garland makes a sound and turns beet red. Julian's eyebrows quirk and then she laughs. Oh, that. It went well. So well, in fact, that you can see the two of us are still very much enjoying each other's company. Julian is usually busy taking rounds around the marching with a scowl on her face. She looks happier here, being with Garland, more relaxed. Might even say that we're dating. Isn't it funny how red he gets, Princess? You were blushing just as much yesterday when I... One more word land, I swear I'll punch you. The two of them are both blushing now, and the scene is oddly comical. Who knew that two great knights of the Order of Caldria could be so easily undone? Both of you are amusing to watch. The two of them stare at me, suddenly solemn-faced. I suddenly remembered that one conversation the knights all had at the castle. Talk about how they all had personal reasons for being knights, despite the fact they all served the king. I always thought Julian and Garland were stoic and honorable, that their only reason for becoming knights was a sense of justice. Seeing them here, though, without that stoic facade, they feel more like people. My curiosity is piqued. Do you mind if I ask what your reasons were for becoming knights? Oh, my father was a knight. He put his life on the line for this kingdom. Julian's father was a living legend in his own right. He had the medals to back it up. My father wasn't around a lot, but I always admired him. Judging by the look on Julian's face, it is clear to me that she really loves her father. My mother died when I was young, and because my father couldn't be around all the time to take care of me, I ended up practically living with Lan and his family. Len always got annoyed when I called him my brother. Now I know why. Julian wanted to follow in her father's footsteps. So why did you join the Knights, Garland? Because he wanted to watch over me. I never knew you blushed so easily, Garland. Garland's face blushed even harder at that, and Julian's laughter became infectious. A few amusement began to bubble up as I watched the two of them. But a cold voice cuts through the laughter in the atmosphere like a hot blade through ice. Could you keep it down over there? I turn and see that Claude's eyes, normally so warm or cold, his usual smile is gone, replaced with a deep scowl. Oh, we're sorry. He's still glaring at the two of them. Oh, I could tell him about the necklace. Karma, I got another piece of my necklace, another good deed. Claude turns his gaze to me, but the frown doesn't disappear. That's nice, darling. His voice is calm but flat, and lacks any enthusiasm. That felt lackluster, and oddly disappointing. A good deed. Congratulations, Princess. You're close to breaking your curse. What did you get the good deed for? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe it's for helping Lan confess? I hear you and Carmen went out of your way to help make that happen. That happened yesterday, though. Maybe the magic is waiting to see what would become of Garland and I? Claude makes a dismissive hand gesture from his table, frowning. If you two insist on being so affectionate, you should get a room. Affectionate? Julian's smiles fade away into a dangerous scowl. When Garland looks confused, Julian looks notably irritated. The shadow is still there on his face. Claude does not look okay at all. Okay. Gotta look at the guide so that I can get through this and be able to go through. We're gonna scold him. It doesn't matter if something's bothering him. It isn't like him to be so rude. Irritation is no excuse for rudeness. Fine. I apologize. Happy. He looks at me for a few moments, his expression twisted into a defiant scowl, but it doesn't hold long. Moments later, expression softens and he looks away, almost in shame. I'm sorry. This apology sounds real. But still, why do I feel so disappointed? Silence descends for a few moments before Claude abruptly stands up from his table. Excuse me. Claude turns briskly and heads upstairs, leaving me with the two knights. I wonder what's wrong with him. You think we've been running him too thin because of practice? I do not think it's you two. I get the feeling that Claude holds himself back from saying what he means sometimes. Sometimes he acts strange, distant. Recently he's been getting more and more moody. Princess. I look over at Niece, who is smiling apologetically. Sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Brew is getting kind of restless. Time to sweep, I suppose. Well, maybe cleaning will help get my mind off of things. The rest of the day goes by slowly. I'm stuck cleaning most of the day, and serving later. At one point I speak with Delora about the nights that had attempted to kidnap me, and it tells me that she and Parfait are meeting later to discuss their suspicions. I still do not understand what their suspicions are, when Sir Alcaster cannot possibly know who I am. My hands are sore by the end of the night, but I still feel like I can practice with the sword. I notice that both Julian and Garland look restless too. Garland eventually leaves patrol, while Julian remains at a table, looking deep in thought. I do not want to bother her, so I decide to try and find Claude. I go to his room, but find that the door is locked. Claude? Karma, are we training tonight? No answer. My heart sinks. Is he not speaking to me? Did I do something wrong? For days, Claude stayed in his room, only leaving when he had to be on patrol. A few times I saw Parfait go into his room, but she refuses to talk about what is bothering him. I feel so useless. When Claude did appear in the tavern or out in the town, he still had the terrible grimace on his face. Look, I really don't want to talk right now. If you're so frustrated with me, why not just ignore me? No, I'm not going to train tonight. I'm not in the right state of mind. I don't want to talk about it. Just leave me alone, please. I'm really beginning to worry about him. Today, I am in town running errands with Waltz for Parfait. It's been almost a week since Claude started acting so strangely, so I decided... It's been almost a week since Claude started acting so strangely, so I thought I needed to do something for him. I know he likes dresses, and he told me once that he likes roses, but can I really find something that will cheer him up? Perhaps he'll like some jewelry. Waltz, do you know where that jewelry store Claude or Karma likes is? I don't go there very often, so unfortunately no. Princess, is this a good deed? What are you doing right now? Did you think it would be a good deed? Good deeds need to be selfless, right? Generally, yes. I doubt this kind of selfless. I'm doing this to cheer Karma up. That sounds pretty selfless. But it's also silly. It goes back to teaching me how to fight instead of sulking in his room. I've heard that Karma has been teaching you how to use a sword. Why do you want to learn how to fight? Because I want to be able to protect myself. And it's not like I can use magic. At least sword fighting gives me an advantage. I'm sorry, Princess. I wish I could teach you magic, but it doesn't work when you're under a curse. But on your 18th birthday and become the Terra Baron Bearer, you'll be able to use magic. I'll instruct you if you want me to. That would be nice. But that does not solve my current problem. What would cheer Claude up? Walt starts chuckling beside me, and I turn to look at him confused. Karma's important to you, isn't he? He's my partner, and he's helped me. He's also been patient with me, and smiled even when I've said some really inconsiderate things to him. I'm glad, Princess, that he's your friend. My friend. Claude does not feel like a friend. It feels like something else. Oh, Princess, is this the one you were searching for? Wallace points to a peddler, sporting different kinds of jewelry, and I instantly make my way towards it. There are all kinds of glittering things displayed, and for a few months I feel myself drawn to everything. Then I notice the price tags. I barely have any money left from when the king gave me that pouch. I cannot afford any of this. Maybe we should do our errands first and look for a gift. Maybe we'll find something as we look through the stores. If we don't get Claude's gift today, I may not be able to give it to him tonight. Princess. Alright, let's look and see. You gotta run the errands first. Waltz has a good point. Might find something while we do the errands, and then we can get them out of the way. Besides, it's not right for me to put Claude above everyone else. We spend a few hours gathering the supplies needed for the tavern. Only then do we start looking again for Claude's gift. Princess, I can hold more of those bags for you. It's fine. I'm used to carrying lots of bags. Does Karma make you carry them around? Princess, you should really tell him off. He does a lot of other things for me, but next time I think I will. As long as he gets out of his room sometime soon. I really hope he does. Hey, Princess. But now the problem is finding something that I'll like. What is Claude like? Princess. There's no reason for you to shout. Waltz shakes his head at me, but he's smiling. Let me offer you a deal. A deal? If you help me set up one of my puppet shows, I'll pay you. You earn money from your puppet shows. I get tipped. So what do you say? I won't go easy on you, though. Yes, I'll help you. Why do you seem so surprised? I was just thinking that everyone's right. You've really changed, Princess. Maybe having Karma as partner really was a good idea. Being partners with Claude may have changed me for the better, but I doubt I have done the same for him. I'm sure Karma would be very happy that you were buying him a gift. Receiving gifts from Myers is the same thing as you getting him something. He receives gifts from admirers. For a few moments I think about the woman who chased us in town a few weeks ago. I feel a little unpleasant stab in my heart. Small things. A man will treat him to dessert every so often. I saw a lot of it when we did errands together. Always make Karma accept those gifts without killing the man. It's traumatic, but sounds like Karma. He punched Rumple when he asked him to marry him, joke or not. Karma wears his disguise to be convincing, but then gets angry when people fall for it. He's still very much a child. You know how he is. He doesn't like being flirted with. Waltz, do you know anything else about Karma's curse? His curse. He never really talks about it. Claude may be even more stubborn than me if he's not letting anyone help him with his curse. Wallace and I continue our search for a gift. Wallace tells me that I can look for something a bit more expensive, and it'll just put me to work on another day by helping him with his puppets. I return to the jewelry peddler we found earlier. Well, scoot myself over just a little bit more so that I can see the dialogue better. Hello, madam, sir. What can I help you with today? Do you have any sort of rose-shaped jewelry here? The man refers me to a box full of many different rose-shaped earrings, and then shows me necklaces, and I realize belatedly that it is as if I'm searching for something for Miss Karma, not Claude. My eyes scan the glass, nearly in defeat, before a little rose catches my attention in the back of the display window. It has a chain connected to it, but doesn't seem long enough to be a necklace. What's that one? That's our simple rose pendant, madam. It comes with a chain, but it can also be pinned on the chest. The man takes it out of the display case so I can look at it. Aww. This is fancy, but not completely flashy. I feel a little click as I press my fingers to pin it and realize I can also open. Oh yes, you can also put something small inside of it. This is perfect. I look at the price tag, and after making sure that it's not too expensive, I pay the shopkeeper, whilst pays him the additional fee, and then we walk back towards the marching together. When we return to the marching, I go to my room to tuck the locket into a drawer before I head to the tavern to finish the rest of my chores, just as I expected. Claude is not downstairs today either. Jury and Garland have taken a training with each other, though they seem agitated that Claude is not helping them. At the end of the day, I hurry to my room, where I write a few words on the piece of paper that I put into the locket. A normal rose would have withered, so I offered this one instead, in heartfelt thanks. I held the locket tightly in my hand and started towards Claude's room. Why is my heart beating so fast? I'm just giving him a gift. I paused at Claude's door, remembering the last time I entered his room. I am sure it's okay if I just go in. I open up the door to Cloud's room, which is thankfully not locked, and step inside. Cloud is sitting motionless in front of his mirror, shoulders slumped as he stares at his reflection. He is shirtless, and there's that tattoo. It seems different. Cloud does not notice me at first, and his hand goes to the tattoo over his chest, and I hear him heave a heavy sigh. Slowly, I close the door behind me. It clicks, and that is when he suddenly turns to look at me. At first there's just shock on his face, and then suddenly, anger. Again, why do you do this again, Blue? Came to speak with you. I came to give him something, but I also want to speak with him. I haven't seen Claude in a while. Why? Because you've been doing everything by yourself lately? You came to complain? No, I wanted to check on you. Princess, can you not read the mood? You could have, at the very least, knocked. No time at all. Claude is suddenly right in front of me. His hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door. Okay. Ignore me. Ignore me. His face is so close, the expression so fierce, I cannot even bring myself to think of a way out. The only thing I do is stare at him levelly, without getting angry, without crying. I'm not show any weakness. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That's what the Blue that I know would do. Then you do not know me as much as you think you do, and you know nothing about me. I already have a retort prepared when I stop realizing that he is right. I barely know anything about him. No, I don't, but I'd like to. Why do you insist on poking your nose into others' business? We're partners. That's the only reason. It has to be. I'm supposed to help you, so why don't you... I'm supposed to help you, so why do you keep secrets from me? Help me. His lips crook, but his smile is sardonic. Claude, I want to help you. In the silence that descends between us, I find that I cannot help but look at Claude's tattoo, the thorns twirling around the rose, his beautiful but also seemed so lethal. When I glance at Claude again, he looks crestfallen, his eyes glittering like he might be on the verge of tears. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak about them, I would, but I can't. And you bursting into my room without any notice only makes it harder. Harder for what? Princess, you can't imagine what this all feels like. What is he talking about? That woman. I thought we were meant to be. She was so lovely. Her smile as bright as the sun. Claude's eyes are far away. That's why. Never again. But then you ruined everything, Blue. You cut me down like... I pushed my hands against Claude's chest, catching him off guard and forcing him to stumble back. I cannot take any of this. If I've ruined everything, then I'll just leave. You can have all the time in the world to yourself, then. The locket I bought from him burns my hand. I end up throwing it at his feet. Blue, wait. I ignore him as I run from the room. When I return to my room and lock my door, I feel too hollow inside for tears. It hurts to breathe when I think of Claude. I eventually manage to fall asleep, only have snatches of restless dreams when my eyes finally close. Mother, are you and Father in true love? Like the fairy tales? I thought I forbid you to speak of fairy tales. Have you been reading them? No, Mother. I overheard someone in the palace talking about them today. Then I shall have to find that person and make sure they know what an appropriate topic of conversation in this palace is. But, Mother, true love and fairy tales sound so nice. Do you think I can fall in true love with a prince? Dearest one, true love like that does not exist. But the love between a mother and a child is the truest kind. It cannot be replicated by anything else. Other kinds of love is an illusion. My love is all you will ever need. Do you understand me, my heart? Yes, Mother. Terrible thing to sit there and tell a child. Lush prince. Keep your stand straight, Princess. Jane gives me the warning, but too late on purpose. I can see the smile on her face as she effortlessly slides past my defenses, taps me on the shoulder with her wooden sword. I got you. Again. For the last few days I've been practicing with Doreen and Garland because Claude still hasn't come out of his room. The knights offered to train me, and right now they are teaching me about ways to hold a sword. This is slow, but Claude did tell me I wouldn't be able to master the sword so quickly. Claude. He made me so angry that one day that I could not even properly give him my gift. Yet I still feel sad that he's not here teaching me himself. Come on, princess, focus! I jolted on my reverie and nodded at Jurian. Okay. Ready myself for her next strike, and once again get tapped this time on the hip. Garland takes over after Jurian, and we do rounds where I try to hit them with certain strikes. They are both good at teaching, but does not feel the same as Claude's instructions. His lessons seemed less like they were out of a book. Ugh. Don't worry, princess. It always starts out slow. I was just slow at training, but look at him now. Garland whips his head around in Jurian's direction, his face turning deep red. Jurian, that nickname. But you're so much fun to tease, Lan. She beams at him and then laughs at his embarrassed face. Our practice goes on for a few more minutes before the knights tell me to wrap up for the night. I think I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. Princess, you know it's dangerous out here at night. If I don't return in 10 minutes, you can come back and check on me. Jurian seems convinced, but she eventually nods. Fine, but keep your guard up, princess. Watch the two knights as they head back. I see Garland put his arm around Jurian's waist, pulling her closer. I turn away from the sight, ignoring the heavy feeling in my stomach. I'll just practice the swings for 5 more minutes. The only thing I hear in the clearing while I practice is my shallow breathing and the wind in my ears. Something breaks my concentration, however. I see a glimmer of color in the forest and I instantly stop, my hands growing tense on the wooden sword. What was that? I glance around my surroundings and then I freeze when I feel a hand on my shoulder. I feel someone's breath on my neck. This all feels familiar. Is this Claude? I gotta point the sword at him. I'm pretty sure I recognize Claude's hand because I know it's him. I also know what he'd want me to do. I duck away from his hand quickly and turn quickly to point my sword. The tip of the wood is at his neck for a few stunned moments. I think I've won. Even Claude looks surprised. It's really him. But then Claude's hands have moved and he has one hand over my wrist and the other on my sword. Good, Blue. You realized you had an opening, but you broke your concentration. Claude. Claude moves his hand, allowing me to lower my sword. I'm sorry, Blue. I feel my breath catch in my throat when Claude holds out the rose pendant that I got from him. I feel my cheeks flush. Jackson, I left this beautiful thing in my room when I came to return it. Return it? Yes, you left it in my room, and so I only thought it appropriate to bring it back to you. So really think I left it there on accident? Why'd I leave it in your room on accident? What? I bought it for you, and I wanted to give it to you, but you were acting so strangely, and... Claude's eyes widened, the surprise clear on his face. Blue, you bought this for me? Why does he look so shocked? Claude looks at me in awe for a few moments. His eyes go back down the locket. He traces a finger around the intricate shape, his eyebrows slowly furrowing. It's to thank you for everything that you've done for me. Blue. This is beautiful. He lets the chain fall through his fingers as he stares at the rose pendant with adoration. I feel my heartbeat stutter as he turns to regard me with the same gentle smile. He leans forward, my breathing stops as he reaches out to hold up my glass slipper necklace. He's standing so close to me. You really are a good person, Blue. You completed your second good deed. I think some kind of congratulations is in order. Is there anything you want that I can give you? I look up at him and notice a Claude smile doesn't reach his eyes. He still looks so sad. Alright. I gotta say I want a hug. Huh? Claude looks at me in surprise. He thinks I'm being foolish for making such a request, doesn't he? I shouldn't have said anything. Before I could say anything else, Claude takes a step forward and wraps me in his arms. He pulls me towards him. In those moments of silence, all I can hear is his heartbeat resounding in his chest. I feel his warmth all around me, and his fingers clap gently at my back. I feel so strange. My heart is racing, my knees feel weak. Something like this. God. I love like little sweet moments like this. It's so nice. It's so nice. He speaks right into my ear. It's a surprisingly pleasant feeling. Suddenly Claude makes noise as Stressy steps away from me. All of the warmness that was pressed against me one moment ago is gone. Kama suddenly stops, eyes wide, puts his hand on his chest and takes a step away from me, his fingers clutching at the fabric of his shirt. Oh no. Claude has a pained expression on his face that only makes me more anxious. Not now. Claude, are you okay? What's wrong? Oh, Blue, don't worry about it. He holds his hand with a pained smile slowly fading from his face. This does little reassure me. Was it my fault you were locked in your room for so long? He just looks so pained to be anywhere near me. No, most definitely not. I was feeling under the weather. And also bitter. Bitter? Why would he feel bitter? But it's not for you to worry about, darling. For now, we should head back. It's late. You need rest. I just got back from patrol, so I'd like to rest as well. Is there anything else I can do for you? No, sweet Blue, you've already done enough for me. He clutches the rose locket to his chest and sighs out a little with a gentle smile. The smile feels real to me. This is a beautiful gift, and I will treasure it always. Thank you, Blue. Now, shall we head back? I nod at him. We suddenly walk back to the marchand. We make it back to tavern. I feel tired, but also lighter than I have for weeks. Claude wishes me a good night before slowly walking off to his room, holding the rose locket I gave him tightly. Today I'm walking around town to do some errands with Claude. It's been quite a while since we have done this. Though we are here to run errands, there is also something else that drew me into town today. Yesterday, Waltz came back to the market and told us of an announcement that the king was making today. Apparently there was an announcement that had been posted for at least a week's time. Waltz only caught onto it after hearing about it from the crowds after one of his puppet shows. I'm not sure what this announcement entails, but I feel that I need to see the king make it with my own eyes. I can see more people milling about than usual, which means most of them must be waiting for the king to speak. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if it isn't too long, I might actually dive into chapter 9 and then end it there. I have a bad feeling about this. It is not strange for the king to make announcements, but this feels so sudden, and with everything else that's happened to me, I feel on edge. Wow, Blue, you made these bags sound a lot lighter than they'd actually be. Stop complaining, Miss Carmel. You'll get valuable experience out of carrying bags. Seeing Claude complaining is amusing, especially since I know he can handle the load. I feel like a servant. What does that make me when you made me carry all those bags before? An assistant? I roll my eyes at him. We were both working at the marchand, you know. And then the thought strikes me. What do you even do at the marchand? Claude looks surprised at my question, and then he quickly smiles at me. I train the knights, of course. I also attract customers with my beautiful reputation. I start laughing and Claude's face flushes. Darling, I get the feeling you're laughing at me. I wonder. We finish up the rest of our errands and then sit down in the town plaza to rest. Claude leaves briefly and then returns with a slice of cake for both of us to share as a snack. I have a lot of things I want to ask him, and now it feels like the right time to do so. May I ask you a question? Of course, darling. Anything. Do you enjoy dressing like a woman? I don't mind it, really. I appreciate the beauty in anything. You girls get to wear quite an assortment of lovely dresses and makeup. It's quite beautiful. Man. Honestly feel the same way when I sit there and watch people do drag. It's really a beautiful art form, and it's very lovely to see people sit there and participate in something like that. It's awesome. I feel more comfortable in my own clothes, but I don't mind dresses. I guess if you had to wear a dress for so long, you'd get used to it. I have another question. And what would that be? When I was in your room the other day, you spoke about a woman. Were you talking about the witch who cursed you? Oh no, the woman I was talking about. He suddenly goes silent and lowers his head. His expression fades into something more melancholy, and I feel my heart lurch. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up, sorry. To my surprise, Claude continues talking. Shortly after I came to NGO, there was one that I met with a smile as radiant as sunshine. She is beautiful. When she laughed, everything felt right about the world. Hearing talk about her makes me uncomfortable. Am I jealous? Claude watches me quietly. It's a face measuring my expression. Eventually goes back to speaking. I knew her for many months. Time passed, and I thought we were truly in love, and then He goes silent for a few months, his eyes distant, the expression pained. Well, some things happened, and I realized she only loved me because of my curse. She's drawn to me just as any other woman is. She seems so genuine in comparison to the other women, but in the end, Claude trails off and lets out an exasperated sigh. You were truly in love with her? I was. I've dated many women, but I never fell in love with someone who had honestly loved me back. The last person's love was that one woman. Claude looks at me, and for a few moments he does not speak. Blue, do you mind if I ask you a question? No, I don't mind. Have you ever loved anyone? My mother, of course. I was referring to a romantic kind of love. A romantic kind of love? What does that kind of love feel like? Allow me to enlighten you. He smiles at me and is surprisingly genuine. It can feel simultaneously like floating and sinking. Your heart stutters and you worry about small things, about offending this other person in some ways. You wonder if they'll like what you're wearing, or if they would prefer a sandwich to a casserole when you treat them for dinner. You begin to find beauty in all the things that they do. Their presence makes you feel complete in a way you never thought of before. You try to imagine life without that person and find that you cannot. To even consider such a thing as painful, so much so that it feels like it might break your heart. Claude continues talking, my mind is already whirling, though he phrases things in a way that still feels unnecessary, dramatic. I feel a tinge of familiarity. The things he's describing, those are the things I feel when I'm with him. Before I can say anything, we hear the sound of hooves and both of us turn. I can see a procession of knights, along with the king on his horse. He normally rides into town like this, but today's not swinging. There are way too many knights riding with him. And is that Sir Alcaster? Let's go find a place to stand and watch. As you wish. Claude walks with me into the crowd, gathering around the king, and we find a spot to spectate at the very edge, closer to the alleyways. Excuse me. My beloved citizens of Ongio, I have come before you today to make an important announcement. Ever since I was given this crown, I have sworn to live my life for the people, and to rule in all fairness, so that our kingdom could enjoy great peace. The crowd breaks into applause. I stare at the king, an uneasy feeling in my stomach when I notice that there is sadness in his eyes even though he is smiling. Then I notice Sir Alcaster appears to be hiding a smile. I do not like where this is going. The king's speech goes on for a long minutes after that, with him detailing the commitments he made, the goals he set, and finally his love for the people. The audience around us claps and cheers, but Claude and I are silent. Something is not right. I nod in response. To this day, I keep this promise. I will never break this oath, for it is the foundation on which I rule. The audience claps again, but I am silent, watching the king intently. Unfortunately, the unwelcome news that I bring to you today gives me reason to hand this foundation over to someone else. I have fallen terminally ill. The king's proclamation is met with shocked and angry chattering from the audience. I cannot hear anything that is being said over the cacophony of voices, but I know that the audience is dissenting. I stiffen as I stare at the king. He's lying. I can tell by the firm set of his jaw and the way his eyes flick across the crowd faster than they ought to. The king has lied to me so many times before that I can recognize when he does it. I know this unfortunate news must come as a shock, but this is an illness for which there is no current cure. As for the question of my successor, he chills off for a few months, and I think I see something in his eyes that hints at urgency, but I am not sure why. Crown Princess Magdalene is unmarried and still too young to rule on her own. I feel a pang of irritation and confusion. Another lie. Magdalene could rule just fine with the help of Sir Mithros and the others. After much thought, I have come to the conclusion that our kingdom, which still continues to face danger from the witches, is best put in the capable hands of the commander of the Order of Keldrio, Sir Alcaster. What? I cannot hide my shock. The rest of the audience reacts similarly. Their sudden outbursts testament to their confusion. While I'll be providing support and assistance from the sidelines, I cannot, in all good grace, continue to wear this crown when I know I cannot serve my people as they deserve. Simply put, I believe that the witches have gained more power. Excuse me. In these recent months, and that Sir Alacaster is best suited to deal with these conflicts. The fairy tale curse becomes more rampant these days, and there has been more reports of incidents involving magic. The murmuring continues, except now the townsfolk sound panicked. This cannot be true. I do not miss the reluctance in the king's next words. Sir Alacaster has also suggested a number of remedies to our laws, especially concerning our security and work hours. I believe that Sir Alacaster can better rule this country in these turbulent times. Please show my love and loyalty you have shown me. That bastard. Claude has a foul expression on his face, and his words feel heavy, even in a low whisper. I know the king. He takes every duty upon himself, and he would never hand his crown to someone else. Once Sir Alacaster comes to stand at the podium, he silences them with a glare. Citizens of Injil, I swear to you that I will serve you as well as Gennaro has. That being said, I also believe some changes will need to be made. So Alacaster continues to speak. He mentions things like curfews for safety, extended work hours, and additional taxes go towards the knights, but I'm slowly beginning to block out the drone of his voice. What's going on? Sir, no. Alacaster must have done something to force the king into his charade. The king stands behind Alacaster, with his hands clasped, his eyes leered, but there's a helplessness to them that I've never seen before. It's long before the crowd's unsettled murmuring becomes agitated whispering. I'm stunned when Claude cups his hands to his mouth and starts shouting. There's only one king! King Gennaro! Claude grips my hand and starts leading me around the outskirts so that people cannot spot him as he continues his shout. The crowd begins to chant along with Claude, and they draw nearer to the stage where my father and Alacaster are standing. There is only one king, King Gennaro. There is only one king, King Gennaro. Let's go, Blue. Claude is right next to the platform now, and the chant carries on. Claude pulls me behind him, but my mind is on my father and on his desperate eyes. Hours later, the merchant's tavern is chaotic. People are talking over each other, trying to relay the scene of what they saw in town today. Every visitor here is talking about what they witnessed. I have been in a corner of the room this entire time, trying to understand everyone, but failing. Blah. Delora and Parfait are not here to calm all of this chaos. Hey, Princess, how are you feeling? I almost jump when I hear Rumpel's voice. Surprised, I can feel when the damsel is in distress, milady. I'm not really in the mood for your flirting, Rumpel. Never in the mood for it. Get out of here, Rumpel. Oh, my apologies. I thought you might have wanted some cheering up. Where's your partner? He went out of town to survey the situation. Carmen doesn't do anything around the tavern, but he does a whole lot for you, doesn't he? I suppose that's the least man in love can do. I feel myself blush. What is Rumpel going on about? Princess, you're pink. I am not. My mind feels all scrambled now. This is all Rumpel's fault. Thankfully, before Rumpel can continue talking, the door opens and Delora walks inside to call all the merchant boarders into the reception room. When I stepped into the reception room, I was surprised to see two familiar figures there beside Parfait. Excuse me. Evangeline and Rod. Both of them looked downtrodden and discouraged. Everyone is noticeably shocked as they step inside. The prince and princess, where did they come from? What is happening at the palace? What of Queen Ophelia? We need silence in the room, everyone. Delora raises her voice, effectively causing everyone to pause. She glances at Parfait, who nods and turns her look at Rod and Evangeline. Princess Evangeline, if you tell everyone what you told Delora and I? The room is unnaturally quiet as Evangeline begins her story. She starts with events of 1 week ago. In the middle of a family dinner, Alacaster burst in with soldiers, and seized her, Rod, and Ophelia in front of the king. Sir Alacaster said if the king didn't hand over his crown, he would kill us. We had no idea a coup would be staged. The three of them were taken down to the prison cells, with Ophelia taken in a separate cell. Sir Fitzgerald helped us escape, but only just barely. Fritz, are you openly disobeying your father? I hope that he is safe. Alacaster wanted to kill the king. I'm sure that he still will. But he has no reason to. The king has already handed over his crown. I speak before even realizing. Everyone stares at me, including Rod and Evangeline. Alacaster's a foul man. I don't think he usurped the throne now without violence because he wants less resistance from the people. I never spoke up to my father before. Did you just say father? It's a long story, Em. Magdalene looked between Rod and I, her expression confused. You know each other? We do. Magdalene looks like she wants to say something, but she remains silent. Our mother is still inside the palace. We need to save her somehow, and Sir Fitzgerald. What happened to Fritz? We don't know. He helped us escape, but we were spotted at the last minute. He told us to run ahead and leave him behind. We didn't see him after that. We couldn't just wait, so Rob brought me here. Right now we need to piece together the situation as quickly as we can, and then we need to figure out a way to save the king. I knew Alcast was up to something. We never thought it would escalate into this. Julian, what do you know about this? Carl and I weren't stripped of our titles because we disobeyed Alcaster's orders. It was because we overheard Alcaster plotting something and tried to tell the king of his plot. We gave him warning, but the queen did not believe us, not with Alcaster and Mithros whispering in his ears. The king didn't think Alcaster was possible of such a betrayal. He thought we were trying to turn him against Alcaster for our own gain. Until Alcaster stripped us of our titles and banished us from the palace. Lady Parfait found us. While we were happy to help out of the tavern, we also intended to eventually do something about the mess in the palace. So Alcaster had been planning to do this all this time. When we part for the night, Parfait and Delore take Ron and Magdalene to a room that they can share. It's been decided they will be harbored here at the Marchen, a place that Magdalene apparently knew about, but never came to because she wasn't cursed. While Rod did say his family knew he was cursed, I was Magdalene look at me many times throughout the night, but she never asked me anything. The next few days are a muddled mess. Everyone is busy trying to find out what happened and what can be done to help the king. I'm sweeping the tavern half-heartedly one day, my thoughts on everything but my chores. Everyone's been trying to do something to help out the last few days. Though I've gone on quite a few trips into town with Claude to search for information, I haven't been able to find much. I feel so useless. I'm finally on my break, so I decide to go in the reception room to rest. When I step inside, I notice Magdalene sitting on the couch. She waves me over as soon as she sees me. Boo! I'm reading too fast. She hasn't really openly spoken to me since she's been here. Parfait and Delore have been trying to hide her, so as not to cause a ruckus in the Marchen. Rumors are dangerous now. You're blue, right? Yes. Rod told me about your curse. He said that you're the king's blood daughter. I'm really sorry. I'm shocked by Magdalene's sudden outburst. What? I didn't mean to, but I took your place. How could I forget my own sister? We're not blood related. That doesn't matter. I would love you regardless. Magdalene was always trying to take me out and do things with me back when I was still in the palace. I distanced myself from her because I thought the king loved her more than he loved me. I still think that maybe he does. We weren't close. I barely spoke to you, or to Rod. Didn't he tell you that? He did. But perhaps now we can turn over a new leaf? Magdalene is stubborn as always. I have more things to worry about than being her friend. I have to go. I walk off before the conversation can continue. If I hadn't been cursed and remained in the palace, would Sir Alcester taken me hostage too? The hours tick by, and as the tavern is emptied for the day, Delore calls everyone together to explain what she and Parfait have pieced together about the situation. Alright everyone, we've come upon some new information. The first is that Alcaster has cracked down on the riots in town. Anyone seen protesting his rule is thrown in prison. The king always valued the people's opinions. Alcaster doesn't want opinions, he only wants to rule with an iron fist. Our patrols have shown that there is overall more security in the palace and around the town. They have been charged with keeping people quiet in whatever ways they possibly can. As we heard from the prince and princess, things are most turbulent in the palace. The king is still alive, but is unlikely to stay that way for very long. One thing is clear. Given Alcaster's motives to take over the kingdom, I doubt he'll rest until the king is dead. The king's men have turned against him, and even if there are loyal soldiers still left in the palace, we cannot contact them right now. Rescuing the king and queen will be on us then. We just so happen to have people in this tavern that have a shot at rescuing them. Prince Rod has a key to a secret passage we can use to break into the palace. Secret passageway. If only the king and the commander of the knights have the key to that passage. So how did they get a copy? Who's going to join us on this mission? Jordan and Garland both volunteer immediately, followed shortly by Claude and Waltz. I'll go too. The room goes quiet a step forward and volunteer. Princess, we can't just allow you to put yourself in danger. I look at Claude, who's staring at me, shocked. I took up the sword so I could protect those I care about. Princess, you don't nearly have enough practice. But I can help. I still have time to learn. I agree with Parfait, Princess. The palace isn't a place for you to try out your newfound sword skills. Then you may as well chain me up, because I refuse to stay here while you all go save the king. Princess. Well, she has been practicing with the rest of us. Don't encourage her, Durian. But it's not like any of us can stop her anyway. You're right. The princess is quite stubborn. Claude agrees with Durian, but I could tell he does not like the idea of me going along with them. If only we had time to get reinforcements from If only we had the time to get reinforcements for Karma's country. Karma's country? Bruganta. How is it possible that a Brugantian citizen can simply ask for reinforcements? Karma is the crown prince of Bruganta. There is some shuffling in the room as everyone turns to gawk at Claude. Rumpel, Anise, Rod, and Evangeline all look shocked by this revelation. You're the lost prince. Lost prince. It sounds like such a tragedy, doesn't it? Anise suddenly looks distressed as she fiddles her thumbs. All this time and I never knew. I'm so sorry, Your Highness. There is no need for formalities, Anise. But I am the lost prince, after all. I keep my lineage a secret because right now I'm just a normal commoner. But you're the prince. Couldn't you still ask for reinforcements? If I did ask for reinforcements, I'm pretty sure they would never come in time. Besides, I can't go back to my kingdom yet. I cannot go back while he is still cursed. Conversation continues in a more solemn tone. Eventually we start speaking of our plan to enter the palace. When the details are all finalized, I repeat everything to myself to make certain that I know what is meant to happen. Waltz will lead us to the palace, then, and Julian and Garland will follow right behind him, watching for the most immediate enemies. Leave it to us. We'll deal with any resistance before it touches you, Princess. Your crown will be watching from the back along with Delora. A witch and a prince for a backup. Delora smiles wryly. Claude rolls his shoulders. I'd like to think of us more as a closing act. Though if all goes according to plan, we'll have no need for either the opening or closing act. It's a small task force, which is better. The smaller the better. The last thing we want is to be noticed. We decide to meet again over the course of the next week to finalize our plan and carefully survey the situation in town before parting. Claude is taken to training me, joining Garland at the same time. Just the other day he had all of us attack him together. Even though I am nowhere near as good as a trained knight, I still managed to hit him once. I feel like things are coming to some sort of conclusion, yet I still haven't done 3 good deeds. Today we finalized our plan for getting into the palace. We have mapped out where the king and Ophelia must be in the prisons, where the guards might be positioned, and how we plan on sneaking in. I sit down on my bed and I'm about to lay down when I hear something. Hello, love. My, you're red. Were you thinking about me? I noticed that he has one hand on his chest tonight, but then he has been doing that more often lately. I noticed it during practice sometimes when I catch his eyes. Is he sick? Darling? I shake my head at the sound of Claude's voice. What if I was changing? You could have knocked. Well, you didn't seem to have a problem when you walked in on me changing without announcing yourself. That's different. He shows inside and steps closer to me. He smiles at me mischievously. Oh, how so? Cat got your tongue? Claude shakes his head and he smiles softening. I really didn't mean to come in to disturb you. I just have something important I need to say to you. Claude kneels in front of me and furrows his eyebrows. I want to insist you can reconsider going to the palace with us. As Parfait and Delora have said many times, it will be dangerous. Nothing you say is going to change my mind. I want to do what I can to help everyone. Yes, and that terrifies me. Terrifies you. If your stubbornness leads to you putting your neck out there for someone, I would never forgive myself for your injuries. If you want to help me, stay here, where you'll be safe. I'm not some damsel that needs to be protected. Blue, all I want is for you to stay safe. so that when we save your father, you can face him with a smile. I won't be able to face my father unless I'm one of those people to save him. Stubborn as always. I sigh, irritation welling up in my stomach at the look on Claude's face. He's calling me stubborn, but he's being stubborn about this. You said I've improved with my sword fighting. You have. You've improved so much that because of your resilience and drive, because you're genuinely interested. It's because I have a good teacher. Your compliments is gentle music to my ears. Your compliments mean a lot to me, Blue. My eyes fixate on the soft smile and gentle crinkles at his eyes. Our eyes lock for a few moments, and I'm aware of a slight energy between us. I glance away hurriedly, not entirely sure what would happen if I kept staring at him. My heart beats unsteadily in my chest. Earlier today, I comforted your sister when she started crying about the things that had happened in the palace. Imagining, why would he comfort her? I saw her crying downstairs in the reception room earlier today, without anyone there. She was a rather sweet girl. I kept thinking the two of you are completely different. You're both strong-willed and stubborn, but she wears her emotions on her sleeve, while you keep it all inside of you. I'm not hiding anything if that's what you're implying. Mother always told me crying was weak. Claude stands up and leans forward. Before I know it, I'm in his arms. Blue, I'm always here for you. I feel flustered again. My mind feels foggy. I barely comprehend what's in my mind or in my heart. Thank you. You never need to thank me, Blue. But you've done so much for me. It's not just sword fighting, it's your patience, your company. You're saving me when I needed help. That's not true. I'm pretty sure I'm the most selfish person in this tavern. All I ever want is things for myself. I never thought you were selfish, Claude. He puts a hand on my cheek and looks at me solemnly. You don't think that me wanting you is... Suddenly he sets back, his hand on his chest again, his breathing heavy. I stare at Claude with wide eyes. Claude, are you okay? I'm fine. He sighs out slow, but he sounds obviously pained. I'll go get Anise. No. I'm fine. I'm fine. I swear, it's just a spell of dizziness. But you? He manages a small, tight-lipped smile before he straightens and shakes his head. His hands are visibly shaking. I must be tired. But Claude... Do not tell anyone about this, okay? I don't want them to worry. Why is he always so stubborn? He's obviously in pain. I clench my hands and fists as I frown at him. Why must you always be so secretive? You're keeping something from me, Claude. I'm sorry, Blue. Claude abruptly leaves the room, leaving me with my fragmented thoughts. So close, yet so far! God! He literally admitted it, and it's just not happening, and I'm so upset. Okay. I'm looking at the time, and it's under an hour still, so I'm going to go ahead and do Chapter 9, since it is the final chapter, I believe. And we're going to make sure to get through it, and this will be Karma's ending, and then once after that, I'm going to start with... As much as I detest it, Rumple's route, and we're going to only do the good end for that, so that we can get right back on track to where I was in the previous series on my YouTube. Which, by the way, if you don't know it, it's Blue Seer Boy, spelled BlueSeerboi, and the playlist for the Cinderella is over there as well. So you can go check out previously for the good and bad endings that I did over there, and I'm going to be working on Rumple's route after this, as much as I don't like them. I'm not looking forward to Rumple. Basically, I'm starting out with my favorite, and then going to my least favorite, and then going to the neutral middle ground that I do not know anything about. Today I will land another hit on you, Karma. If you can, Darlie, welcome the challenge. Princess, your side is open. I bring my sword up closer to my side as Garland strikes me. Tonight is the first night I get to use a real sword as opposed to a practice sword. The sound of metal clashing echoes into the night. Is this what real battle feels like? We have been practicing under skirmish conditions for the last few days. Since tomorrow's the day we enact our plan, we are doing some last-minute practice. Never fighting back to back is better than doing it alone. Claude dodges Durian's sword as he speaks, but I notice that he seems to be taking special care not to look in my direction. He's been fine for the last few days, but I'm not sure when his pain will return. If only he would tell me what is wrong with him. When Claude finally calls an end to the practice, we are all exhausted. Good job, everyone. You'll all be fine tomorrow. Garland turns to face me, a soft expression on his face. And if it comes down to it, Durian and I will protect you. Garland looks over his shoulder at Claude. Both of you. That's our job as knights. I'm quite capable of protecting myself, but I do appreciate the offer. It's late. We shall get some rest. The two knights excuse themselves, leaving me with Claude. Blue, you should go to bed. Princess, I have a feeling I won't sleep much tonight anyways. Be as that may, you should still try. I'm about to retire for the night as well. Okay. I want to talk to you. About what? Claude takes a step back and I stare at his hand absently moves to his chest. Are you really okay, Claude? I have been perfectly fine this past week. He's lying. He's obviously in pain. Why do you have to keep your pain a secret? Why won't you talk to me? I've told you before that some things are better kept a secret, Princess. Claude sighs out, then leans forward to set a hand on my head. Blue, promise you'll stay behind me if we're attacked. And if at any point it looks like we may not make it, you're to run as fast as you can back to the marchen. But that is cowardly. Blue, don't you remember what I said before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise you'll stay behind me. Please, Blue, give me the peace of mind. And then we gotta say, I promise. If it'll make him feel better before going into this mission, I cannot deny his request. Claude's expression softens as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you. Thank you, Princess. Let's attempt some sleep in preparation for tomorrow. When this is all over, I'll pry Claude's secret out of him. Secrets. Tonight is the night, and everyone is just about ready to go. I can't get this feeling of foreboding off my chest. Everyone is gathered close to the door, ready to see us off, everyone except... Princess! Rumpel suddenly appears, and he's coming up to stand right next to him. What are you two doing here? Well, of course we came to wish you good luck, just like everyone else here. We'll be waiting for you tonight so that we can celebrate everyone's return. Be careful. Imagining who's been everywhere with her brother since they came here, standing right beside him now with a smile. I'll pray for your safe return. Her smile wavers, I can tell she is uncertain. She has the great knights of Caldria, 2 witches and a prince. She'll be fine. Rod's response are curt as usual, but I cannot help but notice the hesitance in his voice. Even though he stares at me without expression, I think I see a tinge of worry in his eyes. Rest assured that we'll keep the princess safe. We're not going to let Alcasser get away with what he did to Angela and its royal family. Parfait steps forward last. She and Delore glance at each other, and I feel some secret message bounces between the two of them. Delore nods ever so slightly before Parfait returns to the rest of us. Her eyes eventually fall on me. You've changed since you've been here, Princess, but your dedication and resolve never wavers. It's always been there, just beneath the surface. Stubbornness or resolve? As if Parfait is able to read my thoughts, she smiles as she sets a hand on my shoulder. Your dedication is very much like King Gennaro's. You are proud and honorable, and have always taken steps in the right direction. That is why I know you'll be back tonight. Just as Rumpel said, I'll be waiting for you, all of you. Stay safe tonight. I nod my head as everyone gathered around begins to repeat their hearty goodbyes. It is Delore who walks away first. We all follow behind. The night has just begun. Breaking into the castle time! Why? On our way to the palace gates, uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in a nearby alley. There are knights everywhere. Walls points to what looks like a regular section of the wall. There's a hidden door to the tunnels. If we time it right between the knights' patrols, we should be able to make it. On my signal. Claude puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. It's an abrupt gesture that doesn't last long, but the motion calms my nerves somewhat. We will be fine. Our footsteps echo in the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Jane and Garland, who are flanking with Waltz. Dolores stands beside me, and Claude is at my back. This small tunnel makes it seem like we brought a lot of people. This way. We suddenly follow Waltz's instruction. How is it that Waltz knows about these tunnels? I've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Princess Rod's information. We shall all be alright. Garland and I will act as distractions if needed. Princess, leave most of the fights to us, if there's any to be done. I know, I'll only fight if I need to. If only I wasn't cursed, I'd be able to fight to my full extent. I think you're still quite capable with all of your magic, puppeteer. Oh, a compliment? It's an honor, Miss Karma. I'm only in this dress because of Jurian, you know. Jurian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Claude. I wouldn't fall in love with you, no matter what you say. That's what they all say. We're here. Suddenly everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier as I stare at the staircase in front of me. Sorry, itch in my eye. This should lead to the throne room. I did not know we had a secret passage in the throne room. How much does Waltz know about the palace? Immediately after we step into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the guards' gazes. I sit close to Claude and Waltz as Dolores conjures a blanketed shimmering fog that envelopes the guards. I watch the guards' eyes close before they slump to the ground. Dolores drops her hands at once and all the guards are truly asleep. Amazing how tolerant humans are to magic. Let's keep going. Getting through the palace is no easy feat. Hallways that were easy to get through before are difficult to traverse now with all the soldiers standing around. Dora casts a spell to silence our footsteps into quiet muffles. Moving is still difficult, especially with such a group. Eventually we arrive just inside the tunnels that should lead to the castle's prison. I'll stand watch. Be careful, Waltz. I will. We enter another network of tunnels. Jurian, Garland, after you. Jurian glances at me briefly, then at Claude, who nods a little stiffly. We'll be right back. In accordance with the plan, Claude and I are left at the halfway point of the tunnels to ensure a clean escape as Dolores, Jurian, and Garland continue on to the prison. They should be fine, but I'm still worried. My eyes wander Claude and I bite down on my lower lip when I notice that his hand is once again raised to his chest. I find myself reach out to grab Claude's hand, but he swiftly pulls it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Why is he so angry? Claude puts a hand to his chest and flinches as he leans on the wall. Not now. His voice sounds pained. What is he talking about? Claude? I just need some space, Princess. But I am fine. I could help but feel irritated at the way Claude has snapped at me. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be this way. He trails off, his eyes distant. Because of your curse, right. Most time he's sociable and a pleasure to talk to, then he reverts to the state. It's like he's two different people. I cannot understand why he is like this. Why do I care so much for someone who keeps secrets? Blue, I wish I could explain, but if I did, you would hate me. Or more likely, you would be afraid of me. Okay. I could never be afraid of you. Never. What is there to be afraid of? Claude wears a pained expression as he looks at me. I see him once again grabbing at the collar of his dress, looking like he's in some kind of quiet agony. That's what she said too. Is the talk about that one woman from before, the one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I'm not like her. Blue. Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see that his Jurian, Garland, and Dolores are heading towards us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't in the prison. I have no idea where else they could be. Dolores steps off from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking without direction. That's a sure way to get caught. The word has just left her mouth and alarm sounds behind us. Don't tell me. It's an alarm! Everyone draws their weapons as Waltz appears, running towards us with a harried expression on his face. The knights are on their way. How did they know we were here? In seconds we hear the clinking of metal, and there are knights upon us. We are forced to scatter to deal with different opponents. A guard rushes at me with a sword, and I somehow manage to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. The knight falls after I catch him from behind and give Claude an opening to attack him. Blue! Stay behind me. I promised I would, remember? Let's keep it that way. A smile flashed across his face. For a few moments he seems more like the Claude I know. A knight manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grabs my arm. Unhand me! I watch in shock as shimmering fog surrounds my attacker, his eyes closing as he slumps to the ground. He was only the first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chests that they are asleep. Sorry, I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier. Dolores drops her hand and turns to address Waltz, Claude, and I. Head towards the entrance hall. The king must be in one of the central rooms. Journey, Garland, and I will head to the bedchambers in the east wing to look for the queen. Splitting up is not part of the plan. We don't have much of a choice anymore. If we're going to get the king and queen out of here, we have to improvise. Now go! Claude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. The three of us rush out and into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Waltz and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. On our right! Claude grabs his sword and moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low towards the soldier, his sword poised straight for a devastating blow. Dice begin to approach us from left, and I raise my sword, readying myself. Waltz snaps his fingers, flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity, and I use the opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. I grit my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to be able to get the upper hand. There are so many of them. Well, 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 if it isn't the most desirable princess. I pour on to attack the man that spoke to me, but he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder. Blue! I turn to see Claude run towards me, a panicked expression in his eyes. I take a step towards him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Who are you? I raise my sword, but the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. An incredible pressure blasts out from the cane. It shoves Claude to the floor and blows me backwards. I hit the wall hard and my vision darkens. Man! Claude. Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out. The man laughs and I blink as I try to pinpoint the direction of his voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take off this blindfold. I don't take orders from princesses that no one remembers. But I am a gentleman, so I suppose I shall have to heed a lady's request. The blindfold is abruptly pulled off and I flinch at the sudden brightness. Why, hello there, princess. My captive looks at me, amused. He wears a crooked grin on his masked face and a cape on his shoulders. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne, and I cannot help but gasp at what I see. The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to look at me, his eyes containing a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn and glare at the masked man. Let him go! No can do, princess, though. Don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that? I grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds. Struggle all you like, you won't get out of those knots any time soon. Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I'm called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Me? Nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something. Are you working for Sir Alcaster? I don't work for anyone. So he's a mercenary. The door flies open and Alcaster steps in, his face full of anger. Mithras the fool, how absolutely useless he was. Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. Well, I do agree that wholeheartedly. That man is in the past. Here in the present, we have someone far more interesting to deal with. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before returning my gaze to Alcaster. I used to think Alcaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore. If it isn't the princess herself. You remember who I am? Once Mithras made the connection, it was just too obvious to be false. Could Sir Mithras remember me? Alcaster shifts his attention to the king. Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. You cannot remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father? To the kingdom? Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have run with an iron fist. Fear is best motivation. A king that is too lenient and does not inspire fear has no business being on the throne. But the people in Geo love their king. For I thought that the town people were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as their mother's daughter, which is wrong, but that does not mean they should be subject to a regime of fear. A regime of fear, sorry. Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not the people. Back when the queen was still alive and this place knew the fear of the witches, they were far more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man. King Alacaster, you better have a good excuse for interrupting. Your Highness, there's a beast! What are you blathering about, you fool? A beast, a magical beast is rampaging around the palace. Is this the dead witch's doing? Dead? Witch? No, Dolores is fine, she has to be. Out with it, did Mithros do this? What? I cannot stop myself from blaring out the question. Sir Mithros is a witch? He was a witch, but now he is dead. He turns to his knight and demands more information. I am too shocked to hear their words. Sir Mithros? A witch? Impossible. What of the other palace intruders? We've managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get everyone with that beast taking us out. That damn Mithros, still a pain even after death. What did you do to Sir Mithros? Did not hear me go? He is dead, killed by my hand. But why? He was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals. He eyes me cautiously. He wanted you, Princess. If Sir Mithros was witch, that would explain why he still remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not, but in the end that fool was too power-hungry. He never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, Princess, had you just stayed put. But now that you're here, you'll come in handy. Alcester turns to the knight, who immediately bursts into explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we keep it from this room. There's a beast in the palace, and Sir Mithros doing. I'm so confused. What about the others? Are they okay? Let me go, Alcester. You're not going anywhere. It sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you, and when they get here, I will kill them. You, Princess, are going to make excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. Kind of amusing. You, tell me what all of this is. Varg looks unmoved by Alcaster's anger. It is Mithros that summoned this beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me, of all people? Huh, as if I would be able to answer any of your questions. You. Varg. It doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcaster, I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alcaster turns to me, his eyes manic. Whether this is Mithros magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I am not going to let it live. Could the Lord create a beast out of thin air? Sir Alcaster draws a sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I scurry and desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprised me, however, reaching out and cutting the ropes, binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up quickly as I can and grab that sword from him. That was too easy. I eyed Varg warily, his mouth twisted into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me? Help? All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you'll do with that toothpick of a sword. He talks like he doesn't care at all what happens. Don't think about it too much, Princess. This is probably a little too much for your small head. I swing my sword towards him and Varg catches it with his cane. You really think I'm one you should be fighting? The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back, and I hear screaming as loud footsteps sound against the hall's tiles. So what will you do? Run, hide? Or will the beast kill you too? My eyes focus on a large figure entering the room. Though I cannot make out specifics at first, the form grows more distinct the further it moves into the room. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. It's a moment of eerie silence, and then Alcaster yells and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws him off with surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me. Over here, beast! Sir Alcaster rushes at the beast. I finally manage to get clear sight to the king, who is still bound and helpless on the throne. The king. I have to get him out of here. I run towards the throat, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Saving the king really shouldn't be your priority right now. I grit my teeth to swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me. I would be watching my back. It is then that I notice the beast slowly make its way towards me. Why would it be after me? Either I stay here and fend it off, or... Alcaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of the sword, and the two are focused once more on each other. Glance urgently at the king, then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize it's once more heading towards me. There's no way I can help the king in all of this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully Alcaster keeps this beast busy long enough for me to get them. I turn and bolt through the room, weaving my way through the chaos of knights as I head towards the door. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hand grips the arms of the throne, but there's nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. But for now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past their outcast. For a few moments, I think he might be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in a defensive position like Claude taught me. The beast never reaches me. You've ruined everything, beast! Alcaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back towards the doors, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Beauty and the Beast. Ah, there it is. That's the curse. Where did the beast come from? Knights immediately rush towards me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly. We'll keep you somewhere safe until this all dies down. I cannot take them all on at once. Even knowing that I still pull out my sword, I take a few steps back and then suddenly feel my back press up against something. The beast stands behind me. Its back to me. I stand in the shadow and I realize that if I turned around, it could swap me to the walls just like the rest of its victims. But it's just standing there. Together. Together? The beast says nothing more. Though I still feel on edge, there is something oddly familiar about this. Claude told me once it was better to fight back to back. I will trust you for now, whatever you are. I do not know if it understands me, but I can hope. It seems more like a human than any kind of animal. Princess, get away from the beast, it will... Knight never finishes a sentence. The beast sends him flying through the air. Why is it helping me? The knights fall like dominoes to the beast, but manages to remain standing when I strike them with my sword. Even just taking one down is so hard. These men have been trained for years, while I haven't even had the luxury of a year. Out of the corner of my eye, sense movement. I see a gleam of silver and hear a grunt as the sword is raised into the air. The sword is nowhere near reaching me, but... The beast! I aim a kick at approaching knight before whirling around to look at the beast. The oncoming sword comes close to the beast's exposed back, and I know the beast will not be able to dodge in time. Move! I shove past the creature and catch the knight's sword with my own before I can harm the beast. My arms are shaking from underneath the strength of impact between our swords. I feel like my arms are going to give out. The flash of light appears, so bright that everyone is temporarily blinded. I stumble back, rubbing at my eyes. From the sound of it, the beast continued to drive back the knights, most of them shouting to each other to retreat. What was that? When I'm finally able to see again, my eyes automatically land on my feet. I stare in shock. Glass slippers? Yeah! Broke the curse! I quickly reach out to my pendant and realize it's no longer there. I completed my 3 good deeds. Blue. It knows my name. I look around and realize the beast and I are alone, the knights having fled. Did the beast drive off the rest of them? I feel pressure on my back and I realize the beast is touching me. My first instinct is to run, but the words it utters next paralyze me. You, okay? Every word sounds breathless in pain, like it takes too much to speak. It is worried about me? I watch in shock as the beast appears to gesture towards my shoes. You did it. I step back warily. What are you? The beast reaches out and I see something glittering. It's the finale and I'm just tripping over my words. I hate this, please. The beast reaches out and I see something glittering in the palm of its hand. The rose locket. For a few moments my heart plummets into my stomach and my hands begin to quiver. What did you do to Claude? The beast's shadow fingers curl over the locket even as he stares at me. I gave that locket to Claude. The beast only stares at me for a for a few moments longer, and then suddenly I realized that his words, nothing more than a pain growl, did not hold any malice. I gave that locket to you? The beast slowly nods. My grasp on my sword loosens. I stare at him in shock, realization dawning upon me. Claude? Yes. So this is your secret. Why you would not tell me? I could have hurt you. Claude has another form, a curse form, and he never told me. Why? As my mind whirls, I feel everything coming together like pieces of a puzzle. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak on them, I would. But I can't. Blue, I wish I could explain. You would hate me, more accurately, you'd be afraid of me. All those times Claude was clutching at his chest. You were touching your tattoo so many times before, like you were in pain. The beast growls, and the sound is surprisingly soft, almost a sigh. Curse. The tattoo was a warning. The first time I saw that tattoo, it was a beautiful rose. The second time, it had more thorns. The rose became ensnared in thorns. Did he transform? And he always touched his tattoo when he came too close to me. Claude, your curse did not just make Claude, your curse did not just make others fall in love with you. It stopped you from loving anyone too, didn't it? He mentioned that woman before, the one who he thought loved him but didn't. Is it possible that she saw him in this form and was terrified of him? If you loved anyone, you would turn into a beast. You loved a woman once, but she only loved you because of your curse. The minute you transformed, she was scared of you. Wasn't she? Yes. He sounded so pained. The reason Claude had been trying to hide everything from me is because he scared that I would have feared him. That's why beauty has always been so important to him. The cursed cat's what makes him both beautiful and a beast. I wanted you to love me, but no one could love a beast. His words are dwindling. It almost sounds like he's being suffocated on the inside with how slowly he's speaking. Claude, I have never cared much about appearances. People have worn masks on their faces their whole life around me. Claude, I take a deep breath and face him. I will love you, no matter what form you take. I drop my sword to the ground and make my way over to him. I rest my cheek on his chest and wrap my arms around him. I love you. The room is filled with a bright but gentle light. It almost feels like I'm bathing in sunlight. For a few moments I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet, and my heart feels full. Then moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist. I love you too, Blue. Finally, it happened! It happened! Finally! Ah, yes! Finally! Ah! When I open my eyes, I still can't see anything, even though I know that the light has faded. That warmth is still there too, but now I feel it immediately on my skin. I realize it's because Claude is hugging me. Not as a beast, but as a man. Did I break his curse? I realize it's the first time Claude has ever touched me for a long period of time without abruptly moving away. Tentatively, I move my hands, feeling the fabric of the shirt and the warmth of him underneath it. Claude. Before I can finish my sentence, my lips are sealed. I feel Claude's lip on mine, only briefly, but it's enough to make me suddenly feel faint. He pulls away from me with a brilliant smile. I've always wanted to do that. I love this man. I love this man. I love this man so much. Oh my god. Blue, you're blushing. If I could, I would kiss you again, but we have some urgent things to attend to. The reality of the situation begins to seep back into me. My father, Varg, Alcaster, they are all still in the throne room. The king! Let's go, Blue. When Claude and I rush into the throne room, my attention is immediately grabbed by the king calling my name. Blue! He's still bound to the throne, though his gag is removed. A rush of relief floods through me. He's alive and he remembers me. My gaze is drawn to the two men battling at the base of the throne. Their swords are locked together in a stalemate. Alcaster and... Fritz! What has happened here? This is not how you gain power. I knew you would be a thorn in my side for the moment I concocted this plan. Where is Varg? The other one hears me, and I will. Fritz's concentration slips, his eyes land on me. The opening is small, but it's enough to give Alcester the opportunity he needs. Watch out! Claude is already running over to help, but even he is too slow. Alcester disarmed Fritz before driving his sword through Fritz's chest. No! No! Alcester pulls the sword out of Fritz's chest just fast enough to deflect Claude's attack. As Claude drives Alcester away from the throne, I rush to where Fritz has collapsed on the ground. His eyes are already growing glassy. Fritz! I lean over him. There's so much blood. I glare at Alcester. How could you do this to your own son? Anyone in my way will meet my sword. Blood does not matter. Princess. I turn back to Fritz, alarm. in alarm, tears in my eyes. Fritz, hold on. Don't speak, you need to conserve your energy. Princess, I'm sorry. Fritz, please, don't speak. I feel bitter tears stinging my eyes. I'm sorry. I watch the light seeps from Fritz's eyes. I put my hand to his chest to feel for a heartbeat, but Fritz's body is still. Fritz! I glance up at the sound to see Claude at the far side of the room, struggling to get out to his feet. Blue, watch out! I turn, but I'm not fast enough. I see Alcester raised high in the air, and I know he'll reach me before I can pick up my sword. The sword falls from Alcester's hand, and its bright red ribbon of light twines around the hilt and drags it far from reach. I turn and see Dolores standing a short distance away, Julian, Garland, and Waltz all standing behind her. I'm afraid your performance as king has been incredibly disappointing. Julian and Garland move together, rushing Alcester from the same side. I see Claude moving in from the other side, quiet and lethal. Princess! Waltz and Dolores rush over to me as the fighting continues. Alcester reclaimed his sword and is trying to evade attacks from all three different swords at once. The king. Waltz nods at me, his gaze lingering on Fritz, his expression becomes solemn. He walks off the throne while Dolores kneels beside me. Dolores shakes her head, and that's all I know, that there is nothing more to be done. Make sure he's properly honored, but for now we need to get you out of here. What about Ophelia? Waiting for us somewhere safe. I constructed a shield around her that will keep her hidden from view and harm until we return for her. Weren't we meant to bring the royal family back to the Marchand first? Not while we're missing the king. Besides, plans change when the magical beast starts rampaging in the castle. Princess! I turn to look at Alcester, who still somehow managed to scream my name, despite the fact that he's been quickly overwhelmed. Princess, we could have worked together. If you're more like your mother, you could have ruled with grace, beauty, and fear. I flinch back, and Dolores' hand comes to rest on my forearms, her grip steadying. That is enough. I look up and see that the king has stopped to stand beside me. To my surprise, the king rests a gentle hand on my shoulder, his eyes soft as he looks at me. Blue, we have a lot to talk about, but right now I have something I must do. I nod mutely and watch the king draws his sword. He makes his way to Alcester. Julian and Garland and Claude step back from where they have forced Alcester to one knee. You are a traitor lacking any honor, Alcester. You are the one that lacked honor. A ruler must have the people beneath his thumb. A ruler must lead people, not suffocate them. His oath as king is to protect them. You are no king, Alcester. For your crimes, I find you guilty and capable of rehabilitation. The sentence for the severity of your crimes is death. The king raises his sword, and I turn away before he strikes down his sword. There is no sound or scream to follow. I turn once more to see that the king has poised the sword at Alcester's chest, but has not killed him. You will stay in the prisons until time for your trial comes. Though you might try to refute these claims, you'll be tried as a traitor to the kingdom, and then you will be executed. Alcester's shoulders fall. The glare never leaves his face, not even when the guards seize him and drag him from the room. The king immediately sends Julian and Garland out to deal with any knights that are still part of the coup. Dolores and Claude help with moving Fritz's body, while Waltz tries his best to fill the king on the most basic points of our successful operation. I hate that Fritz has died. I forgot that Fritz died. It makes me really sad that he died. Everything has died down a little bit over the last hour, but I still feel overwhelmed. I glance at Waltz and the king, who are still speaking. Every time the king sees me looking at him, he flashes me an uncertain smile before glancing away. I know he wants to speak with me, but I will talk to him after I can get Fritz's body out of my mind. It was my fault he died, wasn't it? He saw me and stumbled. Hey, princess. What are you doing here? Here. I thought you changed, but you still got some feistiness in you, don't you? Many years ago, when the war ended, we were all faced with such a feeling like this, Princess. We had lost so much and the future seemed so grim. But now it is different. You have a future. You broke your curse, Princess. That gives you some kind of hope. In addition, you broke Karma's. Memories of Claude's arms around me, of his lips on mine, come flying back to my foggy mind. My heart still feels tight, but it's a little lighter when I think about him. I wish he was here right now. How did I break Claude's curse? Claude, I don't think I'll ever get used to his real name. Seems like he hasn't told you yet. I guess it's been pretty hectic. Has Claude turned into a beast because he loved me? Well, I guess I could give you the laydown of his curse. Stop! Desist! Dolores not even started to speak when Claude runs into the room, gasping he's been running through the halls. Curse! Are you speaking about my curse? There's no way you heard us talking in the hallway, is there? Even I feel a loss for words right now. And since you might be talking about me. The princess was just asking me about your curse. Oh, then I was right to come running, and here I was just guessing at what you might be talking about. Claude's curse was based off the fairy tale, The Beauty and the Beast. Claude easily finishes her sentence. Laura holds up her hands as if in surrender. So eager to steal the spotlight. Well, you are talking about me, after all. He always told me that your curse was just the beauty's curse, though. Well, yes, because the other half was a little difficult to explain, wasn't it? He had a point, though I think he might have been able to save us all some trouble if we had been so secretive about his curse. He must have been really scared that I would shun him. Allow me to explain, Princess. In the fairy tale, a prince of a kingdom is transformed into a beast because his heart is as cold as ice. Sounds familiar to a certain icy princess, eh? Just trying to lighten the mood. Claude sighs. I would call Blue something far more flattering like my sweet beloved. We were talking about your curse? Oh, right. Well, anyways, the witch who cursed the prince in the tale tells him that he has to learn to love and be loved before the petals of a rose completely fall off. A rose? Yes, she gives him a rose, and continues to keep it protected under glass. Some time passes and the rose continues to wither away. The maiden finds a beast, and eventually the two fall in love. At the end of the tale, she confesses her love to the beast, and he transforms back into a human. By confessing, I saved you. But his curse was different from the tale. I know what you're thinking. That curse was somewhat different. It was more complicated. The witch made it so I was both the beauty and the beast. She said it suited me because I was so vain. The witch constructed a very roundabout curse. Anyone who falls in love with me as the beauty. And when I transformed the beast, the enchantment would break and they would become terrified of me. I doubt Claude ever thought he would break his curse. Love woman fell for him while his curse was always fake. How could that kind of love hold strong when he turned into a beast if it was never true to begin with? Then you came along, Princess. I bet you just about given up hope and was waiting for you to dispel the curse on your birthday, but now here you both are. But the Ice Princess in love? What a miracle! I turn away embarrassed. It is not a miracle. I am very glad I met you, Blue. Lady Dolores' words are the truth. I had just about given up hope. I never had any hopes of breaking my curse. I had thought the only way to fix it would be to have you dispel it on your birthday. But then I came to know you, and he fell in love. A fairy tale indeed. You started out frowning at everyone and everything. You've come a long way, Princess. Congratulations, you turned out to be pretty okay, Princess. And you turned out to be pretty okay, witch. Gasp! Do my ears deceive me? A compliment from my little witch? You look so surprised. But you'll be the new bearer of our crystal real soon, Princess. I expect good things from you. Right, I almost forgot about that part. I'll try my best. Yet another miraculous proclamation from the little witch. The surprises never cease. Before I can snap at Delora again, the king awkwardly interjects, coming to stand next to us with Waltz by his side. Pardon the intrusion. Oh, not at all, your majesty. Waltz told me that you were cursed. That's why I forgot about you. Yes. Even if it was by a curse, I feel terrible that such a thing could have I feel terrible that such a thing could have ever happened. So I'll make it up to you. We could catch up from where we were many, many years ago, and maybe things could be different. I'm sorry. What for? For being the way I was before, for shunning Ophelia and her children. Oh, Ophelia, did they bring her back to the Marchen? Ophelia is still here. After the fight was over, she was shown back to her room. She was still waiting for Aunt and Magdalene to return. Now, would you maybe be willing to tell me the story from the beginning? Perhaps I should fill you in the gaps, Your Majesty. Claude? The king looks startled when he stares at Claude. He blinks if he's just noticed his presence. Oh, and you are? Claude elegantly bows before the king. I am Prince Claude of Burganda. A pleasure to finally meet you, Your Majesty. The Lost Prince? The king turns to me with a puzzled look. It's a long story. Claude surprised me by wrapping an arm around my shoulders and pulling me closer to him. Everyone looks shocked except for Delora, who looks like she's trying not to laugh. As the princess's lover, I feel it my obligation to help her explain this whole mess. I feel my face getting hotter at Claude's sudden proclamation. All their eyes are now on me. I suddenly feel like hiding myself. Only Claude would so bluntly say such a thing. The king looks more shocked than anything. When did this happen? Well, Your Majesty, I think we had better start at the beginning. We were able to tell the king everything, save for where Varg had disappeared to. No one was sure where he had gone in all the chaos. The night's searches for him all ended in failure. A lot of explaining had to be done, not just to the king, but also to the people at the tavern. As soon as everything had calmed down, Frod and Magdalene finally went back to the palace. I apologized to them as best I could. They all seemed willing to try again with me. I'm willing to try again, too. As for Claude... So you're going back? Are you sure you don't want to come to Brigantia with me, just for a short holiday? I love nothing more than to introduce you to my family. Mother would shower you with gifts. Father would, well, tease you, probably. Make jokes frequently. And Llama. What did you say, Llama? He has a pet llama? My brother, Llama. What? Another acronym for Karma and Llama. Does your father do these things on purpose? I told you he likes jokes. My brother's real name is Lance. I was going to bring you back and introduce the two of you. And you could tell my little brother how very charming I am. Is it just my imagination, or is there a glimmer of competition in his eyes? As much as I'd like to meet your family. You have your own obligations here. You need to let your family know that you are safe and alive. But the thought of being separated from you... Claude sighs before he leans down and plants a kiss on my forehead. I'll miss you. You won't be gone that long. Love, that's not how you're supposed to respond. You're supposed to say, my sweet prince, I'll miss you too. Fine then, I'll miss you. Maybe. Claude raises an eyebrow at me and then smiles. I'll be back for your birthday. I love you, Blue. It's only been a few weeks since Claude left, but I'm impatient. The king's been throwing grand dinners every night in preparation for my birthday, but can hardly concentrate on anyone else when I'm thinking of Claude. I told him all about the smaller birthday celebrations. Thought he'd be here for them. My birthday's in a few days. When will he come back? I've tried to make myself busy, mainly by continuing my sword practice with Julian and Garland, who have both rejoined the Order of Caldria. Every time around the nights, I think of Fritz. I should bring some new flowers tomorrow. If Claude would just return already, we could go pay our respects together. Hello, Blue, my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed. Ah! He's back! He's here! Claude. I shake my head and try to gather my thoughts. First of all, you did not knock. Second, we are not engaged. We may as well be, don't you think? At the very least, knock before you come in. So worried I would come in on you in the middle of changing? Would you have minded so terribly? Yes. As we're saying those things, you just see you blush. Why are you even here? His arrival so sudden I had absolutely no time to prepare. Claude sighs dramatically. You didn't want me back here? No, I mean, you did not even write to say you'd be back today. I just wasn't expecting you. It did say you'd be back for your birthday. I am a man of my word. Should I have stayed out longer? No, of course not. I grumble as Claude walks over to my bed, grinning. He sits on the bed next to me, wraps an arm around my waist, pulling me closer. I sigh out and lean my head on his shoulder. It is a startling contrast to what it used to be. Before, if I touched him, he'd flinch and turn away from me. Now he's always right next to me. Claude's whole body seems to relax when I tentatively wrap my arms around him and hug him back. I knew I would miss you, but it really was terrible being away from you. But you enjoyed the time with your family. I did. My brother was very frustrated. I spoke about you almost every hour of the day. How could you have that much to say about me? Oh, I felt that I didn't have enough time to list off all of your virtues. I nudge him in the arm, but he just grins at me. A glint from Claude's pocket catches my eye, and I flush proudly when I notice the rose locket. The look of the locket makes me think back to that night when he transformed back into a prince. Lost in thought, are we? I was just noticing the locket. You still carry it around with you. Of course I do. It's become my most valuable possession. He pulls the locket out and pops it open. I'm startled when I see the small sheet of paper with my own words on it. My message to him is still there. Claude smiles as he reads the words out loud. A number of roses would have withered, so I offer this one instead in heartfelt thanks. I say nothing when he turns to look at me. Oh, your cheeks are red again. Your embarrassment is adorable, darling. I'm not embarrassed. I just didn't think he'd keep the words in there, or that he would ever mean so much to him. Yes, of course, you just have exceptionally rosy cheeks, He pauses as he closes the locket and looks at it fondly. I love this locket because of the first gift you gave me. He was holding the locket as a beast too. It was half the reason I recognized him. I jump as Claude gently taps my nose with his finger. This locket isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I can assure you. I smile as he winks at me. Anyways, allow me to pull you back into the present. Since I promised you no more secrets, let me tell you something. Oh? Claude looks away from me, his eyebrows furrowed as I frown. I hope it's nothing serious. I'm nervous about sitting down to dinner with your father tonight. You're nervous? I start laughing without ever even meaning to. You're laughing at my pain, princess. He pulls me closer and kisses the top of my head. We are too flamboyant to be nervous. I'm confident, princess, not flamboyant. There is a difference. Right. Claude's expression grows more solemn. He looks at me seriously, almost sadly. Blue, I'm so sorry about lying to you. The whole time I made myself out to be someone beautiful, someone I wasn't. I believed I was a truly good person on the inside, and that I deserved good things, even though I was selfish. He already apologized to me before, too many times. Claude, you do not have to apologize. No, that which was right to curse me. I've always had everything handed to me on a silver platter. But I came to Angela, I believed that if it wasn't going to help break my curse, it wasn't important. And then I met you. At first I thought I would just have to get on your good side so you could help me dispel my curse. But then, Blue, I realized I was drawn to your confidence and commitment. But I could never admit that I was in love with you. I was so scared that if I transformed into a beast and you were scared of me, I would lose my chance at winning your heart. Ha, man. So you see, princess, I was selfish. I wanted all of you without having to give you all of me. I look down at where our hands are entwined and I grip his fingers tighter. I've told you enough times now that you have nothing to apologize for. But if you insist on apologizing, maybe I'll do something to make it up to me. The words are out of my lips before I can even think them. I stop suddenly, try to ignore the hot flush in my cheeks. Claude looks at me puzzled, and for a few moments I feel triumphant that I caught him off guard. Okay, hold on. Then the puzzled look fades and Claude just grins at me. Oh my, so forward. Forward? I'm about to apologize, so he suddenly grabs my hand and tugs me down to the bed. Then said Claude topped me and I start finding quickly overwhelmed by my surprise, and no time at all has me pinned down to bed, is looming just above me, smiling. Oh man. I'm disappointed. Princess, you knew my weakness and didn't exploit it there. Your weakness? Yes. He leans close to me and our noses almost touch. My weakness is you, Blue. Yay! Get to finally see the kiss, oh my god. He leans down and our lips finally meet. I relax in the contact. My earlier tension melody waves warm flows through me. He pulls away and smiles at me. You see, I let my guard down in front of you. I let my guard down in front of him too. And only him. This whole time all I've wanted to do is be able to touch him like this. His fingers move gently up my arm and he leans down to kiss me again. The sudden knocking startles us both. A muffled voice comes through the door. Princess, the king is requesting your presence down in the dining hall. He says that your friends have arrived. Princess? I hear the doorknob begin to turn and quickly speak. Yes, I'll be there in a minute. Oh, let him know, princess. First the curse, and now this. As if the world is conspiring against us. He kisses me once more on the forehead before slowly sitting up and running a hand through his hair. I catch a mischievous look in his eyes as I smooth down my own ruffled hair. Don't worry, Blue. We'll just finish this later. I feel my cheeks flush. You say such uncouth things. Cloud chuckles before he stands up and offers his hand. I take it and smile up at him. I love you, Blue. Now I can say it as many times as I like. I love you too, Claude. I stand up on my toes and plant a quick kiss on his lips for heading to the door. Let's go, Claude. And that is the end of the chapter. That's the end of Claude's good route. Oh, man. Yes, we get a flashback of all the lovely little art piece scenes. But yes, okay. So that is Claude's good route done. Next, we're gonna do Rumple's good route in the next video. Oh yeah, that one's my favorite one. The little hand kissing thing is just so sweet and so cute. Oh my god. But thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna end the stream now. Uh, this was Cinderella Phenomenon, Karma's Good Route. If you want to catch me here on Twitch, it's blue_seer. Hit the subscribe button and maybe the little bell so you can know when I go live. Usually it's towards the evenings of my time. And my YouTube, I usually just kind of post the video immediately after, if not a few hours after. And if you want to sit there and catch the other parts of the series so far that I've done, it's over on my YouTube at Blue Seer Boy, spelled BLUESERBOI. Go catch me over there. Thank you so much, and you all have a lovely day or night. Bye! Thank you for playing. Yes. Alright. See you guys next time.